Development phase is, I guess, where the rubber hits the road, actually making ideas into something real and sellable and profitable. You have this idea of a concept that you want, but you still have to go through a lot of creative process to figure out how to actually make it and how to make it work.
The development phase is where we take the concepts that we came up with in the second phase, our concept phase, and bring those essentially to a production level design.
Once you get to development, there's usually some kind of product specs. So you have to make sure you're testing that you meet your requirements along the way. So there's a whole bridge of different types of testing and prototypes to pick and choose based on what you need at a certain time.
In phase 3, you're actually looking at real sort of final parts that would be on the shelf on a consumer product, for example. So that's going to be molded parts, it may be die cast parts, sheet metal parts, things like that. So these are going to be real processes that the final product would use versus just prototyping method used in the previous phases.
There's a lot more fine art to like manufacturing that you have to talk with people and understand the limitations of what they can and can't do and be able to adjust the design accordingly to make sure you get what you need.
And again, that's all thinking about those details. How are your parts going to go together? Will they all fit? Will your tolerances work? Is everything drafted? Because you should be in that phase where that should be your focus. You have to know that, so you might have to make changes in your development to accommodate the vendor base that our client is using. So we need to be engaged with them to be successful at production.
I can start having those conversations with them early on. How would you want to draft this? How would you want to split your tool? And so involving the partners early on and having those regular feedback sessions with those, you can really avoid a lot of these late phase compromises and scrambling to change your design.
So we're always advocating for our client, whether it's with vendors or market analysis folks, whoever it is, we're always trying to consider how it impacts our client and their bottom line, and ultimately their end customers as well.
We're always going to advocate for the optimum, but it doesn't mean that a compromise needs to be a poor product or lesser. It means you just have to make different decisions, and if you can make those decisions early, it's easier to be successful and maintain as much of your design intent as you can.
So at the end of the development phase, we're putting together a package and we become stewards of the manufacturing process. We see each step through, making sure that things are coming out the way that was intended. And at the end of this whole process, what's rewarding is you see the product on shelves in customers' hands and get to see how they react in the thing in real life.